The first thing I saw that morning was her face. And trust me, it wasn't the face you want to see before coffee. Karen, my neighbor, my nightmare, my own personal HOA horror story. She was standing on her driveway, frozen in place, eyes locked on my car, not just looking, staring, like a predator spotting its prey. Beat, sound of a phone being pulled from a pocket. And then she screamed. Not a normal scream, not even the saw spider kind of scream. It was the kind of scream that says, "Call the cops before this man gets away with murder." Oh my God, that's my car. He stole it. I'm calling 911. At first, I laughed. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Cut to, sirens faint in the distance, growing louder. Within minutes, my quiet little street was about to turn into a crime scene. Because Karen, my neighbor for the past 3 years, had decided that my car, the one I had, worked my tail off to buy, somehow belonged to her. And the thing about Karen, she doesn't just accuse you, she makes it a spectacle. I should have seen this coming. The signs were there, the whispers, the HOA meetings, the friendly comments with sharp little barbs hidden inside. This wasn't just about a car. This was years of tension about to explode in my own driveway. Let me back up. Because this war didn't start today. 3 years ago, when I moved into this neighborhood, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Quiet streets, clean sidewalks, a nice little park just around the corner. But what I didn't know was that I had moved into Karen's kingdom. Karen wasn't just a neighbor. She was the self-appointed queen of our HOA. She knew every rule, every regulation, and she loved enforcing them. At first, it was small things. A friendly note on my mailbox reminding me my trash cans needed to be brought in before sunset. A just so you know conversation about the type of grass seed I was using on my lawn, but it escalated, because that's how people like her operate, slowly. They push a little further each time, testing how much they can control. Chabatai. Sound of paper being crumpled. Then came the letter about my driveway. She claimed it had a slight oil stain and demanded I power wash it. I laughed it off. Until the HOA fined me $50, I realized something that day. Karen didn't just want order, she wanted obedience. Scene, quick flash cuts of Karen, glaring from her window, walking with a clipboard, whispering to other neighbors. And then, the car. For years, I'd driven the same old beat-up sedan. Karen never said a word about it. But last month, after a big promotion at work, I decided to treat myself. Sound, smooth engine revving, camera pans over a sleek, shining vehicle, my dream car, midnight black, perfect condition. And from the moment I parked it in my driveway, I could feel her eyes on it, like she was mentally measuring it, calculating. I didn't know it then, but she was already plotting. And the morning I opened my garage, her plan went into action. It was a Saturday. One of those rare mornings when I actually felt relaxed. No rush to work, no errands, just coffee, and maybe a drive in my new car. I walked into the garage, mug in hand, and hit the button. The door rattled up, letting in a flood of golden sunlight. And that's when I heard it. A sharp, piercing scream. "Thief!" I froze. At first, I thought maybe a neighbor was being robbed. But then I heard her voice, shrill, trembling, but loud enough for the whole street to hear. "That's my car! He stole my car!" I stepped outside, confused, blinking in the light. Karen was standing across the street, clutching her phone with white knuckles. Her eyes locked on me like I'd just crawled out of her window with a bag of stolen jewelry. Tried to speak. "Karen, what are you—" She cut me off with a wave of her hand, like she was commanding the scene. Her voice cracked but stayed loud. "I'm on the phone with 911 right now. Don't you dare move that vehicle." Neighbors started peeking through blinds. Some came out onto their porches, coffee cups halfway to their lips. I could feel the weight of their eyes, the silent judgment, the whispered questions. Inside, my stomach was churning, not because I had done anything wrong, but because I knew exactly how this was going to look once the cops arrived. Sound, distant sirens growing louder. Karen's voice took on this fake, frantic tone. "Yes, officer. He's right here, trying to leave. Please hurry." And then, the sirens weren't distant anymore. A patrol car turned onto our street, lights flashing, slowing to a crawl as it pulled up to my driveway. Scene. Camera angle low to the ground, showing the police car's tires stopping, then the door opening. 2 officers stepped out. One stayed near the car, the other started walking toward me, hand resting on his belt. "Sir," he said, calm but firm. "Can you step away from the vehicle, please?" Before I could answer, Karen stormed forward like she was the star witness in a courtroom drama. "That's the car I just bought last week. He must have stolen it from my driveway." The officer turned to me. "Sir, do you have proof this vehicle is yours?" And in that moment, I realized how badly this could spiral if I didn't handle it perfectly. It was just another Saturday morning. I walked into my garage, coffee in hand, ready to take my new car out for a drive. I pressed the button, the garage door rumbled open, and that's when I saw her, Karen, standing dead center in my driveway, arms crossed, eyes locked on my car like she was staring at a crime scene. She didn't move. She didn't speak. Just stood there like some kind of gatekeeper to my own property. "Morning," I said, trying to keep my tone neutral. She tilted her head, squinting at the car. "That's a nice ride," she said slowly. Too nice, actually. Before I could even process what she meant, she pulled out her phone. And right there, 2 feet from my garage, she dialed 911. Sound, phone dialing tone, followed by faint dispatcher voice. "Karen. Yes, I'd like to report a stolen vehicle. It's parked in my neighbor's driveway. Yes, I'm sure. It's mine. I bought it just last week." I froze. Was this real? She was standing on my driveway in front of my car, claiming it was hers. I tried to interrupt. "Karen, what are you talking about? This is my car. I have the paperwork, She waved her hand like I was some annoying fly. "No, officer, he's getting aggressive now. Please hurry." Scene. Faint sirens in the distance, slowly getting louder. Within minutes, a police cruiser rolled up, lights flashing. 2 officers stepped out, one heading toward Karen, the other toward me. Sound. Subtle tension music builds. The officer in front of me put his hand up. "Sir, step away from the vehicle." I felt my pulse, hammering in my ears. "Officer, I can explain. This is my car. I have the registration inside." Karen shouted from behind them. "He's lying! He stole it from the dealership where I bought it. I have the receipt." The officer glanced back at her, then at me. "Let's get both sides of the story," he said. I could see neighbors starting to gather on the sidewalks, whispering, taking out their phones. And I knew whatever happened next was going to decide my reputation in this neighborhood for years. The sirens got closer and closer until they turned onto our street, cutting through the quiet morning like a blade. 2 squad cars. Not 1. 2. Karen was waving her arms before they even parked, her voice screeching like a fire alarm. "There! There he is! That's him. That's my car. Arrest him before he drives away." One officer stayed with her. The other approached me cautiously, hand resting on his holster. "Sir, step away from the vehicle." I raised my hands instantly. "No problem, officer. But I think there's been a—" Karen cut me off, charging toward us like she was about to personally tackle me. "That's a 2023 midnight blue sedan, leather interior, heated seats, exactly like mine. You think I wouldn't recognize my own car?" The officer held up a hand, stopping her in her tracks. "Ma'am, let's just slow down. We'll sort this out." I pulled my wallet from my back pocket, hands steady but my heart pounding. Here's my registration, title, insurance, and ID. All in my name. Want me to pop the glove box for the VIN number too? The officer took my paperwork, flipping through it carefully. Karen's voice behind him turned desperate. "Don't believe him! People fake paperwork all the time. He probably stole that from the glove box." The second officer approached, whispering something to the first. Karen tried leaning in to hear but was blocked. Finally, the officer looked up at me. "Sir, your documents check out perfectly. The VIN matches. This is your vehicle." Karen's face. "Oh, you should have seen it." She blinked, her mouth opening and closing like she was searching for new oxygen. Then came the excuse. "Oh, well, maybe someone stole my car and repainted it and swapped the plates." The officer sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose. "Ma'am, your car is likely still wherever you parked it. This man is not the suspect you're looking for." But Karen wasn't done. She leaned toward me, eyes narrow. "You think you've won, but I know you're up to something. You're not fooling me." I thought it was over. The cops knew the truth. Karen had embarrassed herself in front of half the block. But in this neighborhood, things don't end. When they should, because that's when the HOA president stepped out of his house. Greg, pressed polo shirt, clipboard under one arm, that smug smile that never reached his eyes. If Karen was gasoline, Greg was a match looking for an excuse to burn. He strolled over like he owned the asphalt beneath his loafers. "Morning, gentlemen, ladies," he said, nodding toward the officers. "I see we've got some excitement today." Karen latched onto him instantly. "Greg, finally. You need to find him. That's my car. I just bought it and he—" Greg held up a finger, silencing her without a word.